Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Chess This Week. It's been a long break once again. The truth is, I have been unwell for the last few weeks, but this week I really had to get well and do this week's Chess This Week because something astonishing happened this week. When was the last time you remember Vidit winning something, being the number one at something? And such an event happened this week as Vidit not only won a tournament, but he won the grandest of them all, the Grand Swiss. Vidit won the Grand Swiss, Vidit and Vaishali. Vaishali won in the women's and Vidit won in the open. Both of them securing their candidate spot, and this was an exceptional performance by both of them. This happened in Isle of Man, and Vidit scored 8.5 points out of 11 after losing the first round against his good friend Edwin Lamy, and Hikaru Nakamura is the other person to qualify to the candidates from the Grand Swiss. The top two qualifies to the Grand Swiss. Arjun Erigasi played extremely well, but just missed out from qualifying to the Grand Swiss. And in the women's, it was Vaishali and Tan Zhongyi, who, although she finished in the third place, she qualifies to the candidates because Anna Muzichuk has already qualified through the World Cup. Again, an exceptional performance from Vaishali as well. She scored 8.5. She was leading through most of the tournament and left no doubt that she was going to win this tournament. And this also brings some changes into the Fide circuit points. Now, if you look at the circuit points right now, Fabiano Caruana is leading, but he has already qualified to the candidates through the World Cup path. So the person who is in the second place is effectively in the first place, and third person is Anish Giri. Anish gained some crucial Grand Swiss points. He was also instrumental in helping Vidit win the Grand Swiss, having defeated Henry Esipenko in the final round, and Esipenko had the best tiebreak of them all going into the final round. So if Esipenko had won the last round, he could have won the Grand Swiss despite Vidit winning the last round so clinically. Anish moves into the second spot. Gukesh chasing him. He needs a super big performance in the last month, and Wesley So is also right up there. Both Anish and Wesley So will play in the Singfield Cup coming up in December. Gukesh and Arjun will need to wait for the World Rapid and Blitz Championship as of now. If they win that tournament and play exceptionally well, then they are still in with a shot to top the Fide circuit, unless some super tournament comes in and either Gukesh or Arjun wins this super tournament. So this is the scenario right now, and this is the list of people who has already qualified to the candidates. Jan Nepomniachtchi, on virtue of being the runner-up of the previous World Championship match. Magnus Carlsen, likely to be replaced by Abbas Onejad. And Prague, who finished in the final in the World Cup. Fabiano Caruana, who finished in the third place. Abbaso lost in the semis against Magnus, finishing fourth place, but will likely replace him in the candidates. And the new entrants, Vidit and Hikaru. Two more slots are open, best by rating. Right now, Ali Riza has the highest rating, but there are still a few other contenders, and the 2023 Fide circuit winner. And in the women's, Lei Tingyi has already qualified on virtue of playing in the World Championship match, and the top two finishers in Women's Grand Prix, Katrina Lagno and Alexandra Goryashkina, qualify to the candidates already. Then from the World Cup, Nurgul Salimova and Anna Muzichuk have qualified, and the top two in the Grand Swiss, that is Vaishali and Tan Zhongyi. These are the new entrants to the women's candidates, and the highest rated player as on January 2024, not average rating but simply the highest rated player. And as of now, Konero Hampi is a big favorite to get in through the rating spot, and the winner of this candidates tournament will play a match against the current world champion, Juventus. So this is the update from the World Championship qualification cycle, Vidit and Vaishali winning the super important Grand Swiss tournament. Now moving on to the lesser mortals, some normal opens. Aditya Mittal continues to impress. He won the super strong Pavlodar Open with a very convincing 8 points from 10 rounds. This was a strong tournament featuring many grandmasters, including Indian grandmaster S.P. Sethraman, who did not have the best of tournaments. And Aditya moves close to almost 2590 in the live ratings with this performance. And another big update in recent times is Tamil Nadu's decision to have IM norm tournaments. Tamil Nadu has announced that they have as many as 50 IM norm tournaments in 1 year, and there is an IM norm tournament happening every week. Now, in the most recent one, the fourth tournament, this was won by PV Nandita, and L. Srihari finished in the second place. They did not make IM norms because a minimum of 7 points is required to make an IM norm, but this was still a commendable performance. And in the third tournament, this was won by Arjun Adireddy from Telangana. So the tournament is useful not just for players from Tamil Nadu, although they are the majority participants, but still there are also participants from other states. And Arjun Adireddy won with an amazing score of 8.5 out of 9 rounds, just making 1 draw and 8 wins. And Harsh Suresh, who finished in the second place, both of them make IM norms, and 3 IM norms and a rating of 2400 is required to become an international master. With this new initiative by the Tamil Nadu State Chess Association, I do expect a lot of international masters flowing through the state. So those were tournaments from the previous week, from the past. Now, in terms of ongoing tournaments in the upcoming week, the European Team Chess Championship is the major event which is going on right now. And the European Team Chess Championship is similar to the Olympiad. It's a team tournament involving countries. However, it is open only to European teams. And Russia is no longer a part of the European Chess Union. So Azerbaijan is the first seed and Romania is the second seed. However, in the very first round, Azerbaijan was upset by the lower rated but the quite solid Denmark team after Shakhriyar Mamadero suffered a shock loss against Mads Andersen. Now, this tournament also features the world's strongest player, the number 1 rated player and former world champion Magnus Carlsen, who got off to a good start, a win against Slovakia's first boat, Jurgis Pechar. And in the second round, at the time of recording this, he's black against Austrian Grandmaster Valentin Dragnev. And at the time of recording this, once again, Magnus is in trouble. He's in a worse position. He has been in a worse position all through the game, but I have a feeling that he might survive this one. And in the women's section, in the first round, most of the top teams had a smooth sailing. Georgia, the first seed, winning 3-1 against Israel, and Azerbaijan also winning by 2.5, 1.5. A slim margin, but a good enough margin. But one of the top seeds, Germany, were held to a 2-2 draw by the lower seeded Greece. And this tournament also marks Alexandra Kosteniuk's debut for Switzerland after she moved federations from Russia. Now, that's this edition of the Chess This Week. If you like this video, then do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and see you all soon.